Well, hello, everyone. What did you all think? Huh? What an intro, huh? Guess who you get to thank for that? That's right. The real Alex comes through again. Would love to hear your comments in the chat and let me know what you think. That was
My
just,
my lovely wife said, I feel as though I should have some popcorn ready.
yeah, exactly. Good morning, Dave and James.
Morning, guys. What's happening?
Are you guys in the tractor?
We're in the combine. That's correct.
Excellent. So glad you could join us for a while.
We're trying. It's difficult. You got to multitask big time.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, let's say some good mornings here. Let's see, everybody. So, as you can all imagine, that it's going to be a little rocky here in the beginning until I get the hang of this new setup that Alex so amazingly put together. But let's see here. We have Ozzy Crosby on YouTube. Good morning, Ozzy. Towie is here on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Sue Bowen on YouTube. Tina Kelly on YouTube. Penny Stevens. Good morning. Paul Rick. Robert McCarsky. Oh my goodness. Who do we have over here on TikTok? And yes, I'm toggling between three different screens. Let's see here. Sassy Minnesota Girl is here. Vicky Veronique is here. Joy. Sherry. Boy, it's so nice to be back on TikTok, isn't it, guys? Good morning, Mama Bear. Lisa Maria. Good morning, Lisa. Benji 1959. Big Ben is here. Christy B78. Layson Steele. Oh my goodness. Everybody's piling in. Kevin Kiesler. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. We have Beaver here. We have Chris Romano, Traveler. Mark Matson. Oh my goodness. The whole gang's coming in. I love it. Lee is here. Good morning, Lee. Golf for Kath. My sister is here as well. Let's see here. LSC 3 is here. Good morning, LSC. I think it's LSC. Maybe it's ISC. I don't know. Barb 7599. Good morning, Barb. Oh, look at Allie Mae. She said, I feel as though I should have some popcorn ready. Boy, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth, Allie Mae? Cindy Lou just came in. Martini time is here, and Magic. Mama Bear did super cool. I know, isn't it? Wasn't that cool? Native San Diegan is here as well. Good morning, Native. Extreme Diecast is here. Diva 53. Oh my goodness. Everybody's piling in. Tanya Mooncyber. Good morning, Tanya. Rick Sr. Hey, Rick. Valerie James. Oh my goodness. Jerry BR549. Incredible. All right. Well, we've said some good mornings. We have Dave and James in the tractor today. So will we have reports from you guys or no? Dave?
I'll do a halfway report today. I looked up the grain markets and stuff.
Okay, what about James?
James will not have a report.
Okay.
No. He's on strike.
Got it. Okay, cool. Wow, look at that dinosaur. That was cool. All right, let's see here. Let's go to Alex first. Let's get some indices going and see what's happening there.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dispatch Show on this fine September, not November. Back up. September 18th, 2025. Market's looking good today after the Fed gave us, somewhat of a rate adjustment. Not enough, too late, pal. Anyway, S&P 500 has responded up 32 points to 6,633. The Dow has responded up 84 points to 46,102. NASDAQ up 209 points to 22,470. When the stock markets go up, gold tends to retract a little bit. We're down below the 3,700 mark to $3,673 today. Silver, however, continues to climb, up 8 cents to $42.03. Looking at the crypto market, up, and up. Still safe from having to purchase any stakes, though. Bitcoin sitting at 117,650. Ethereum sitting at 4,600 even, up 2%. XRP is up 2.99% to $3.11. Cardano up 6% to 93 cents. SUI is up 11% to $3.95, and XLM Stellar Lumens are up 5% to an even 40 cents. HBAR up 5% also, sitting at 25 cents. Not too many drops today. There were 5 to choose from. Abuse of power. Reminder, Hussein E.O. Executive Order 13526, Section 1.7, Classification, Prohibitions, and Limitations. A, in no case shall information be classified, continue to be maintained classified, or failed to be classified in order to 1. Conceal violations of law, inefficiency, or administrative error. 2. Prevent embarrassment to a person, organization, or agency. 3. Restrain competition. Or 4. Prevent or delay the release of information that does not require protection in the interest of national security. All capital letters. Sleep no more? ? The American people and others around the world, in brackets, are awakening. Panic. Game over.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. This is kind of tricky, everybody. So because there's a time delay between the Restream feed and the TikTok feed, if I'm looking at the wrong screen, I'm waiting for Alex to stop talking, and he already has, until I go back over to the other screen. So bear with me as I get this figured out here. Kingsgirl 1974 just showed up. Hi, Kingsgirl. Pure Blood Holly Johns. Good morning, Holly. Keep up the good work, Holly. You're doing a great job with your reports. Let's see here. Mr. Alton, Kim 55. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Brian said, yeah, live again. Good morning and afternoon, everybody. Good morning, Brian. Well, morning for me anyway. Wendy just showed up. Hi, Wendy. Let's see. Oh, Rick Sr., Tim Shaw, 707. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, since we have Dave and James are in the Combiner today, Dave is going to do a brief report, and we're going to bring him up on main stage here. And let's see what you got, Dave.
Welcome in, guys, from the cornfield here in eastern Iowa.
Sure doesn't look like a cornfield to me. You guys are still in
know.
Cancun.
I wish we were in Cancun. Be a little blast. James is excited about his 11-cent steak up today, so tell Alex be prepared for that run here. So
well, and you know what's funny as you're talking about James, John Gwynn sent me a message this morning, and he said, "Uh-oh, you better buckle up because James is going to be on fire since XRP is going up." Yeah, I said, "Well, I'm not sure if he's even going to be here today, but yes."
It's like the Rockies; it's up and down all the time for sure. No, corn is a little bit of. We're just going to do commodities a little bit on that. Corn is up 1 to 2. Beans are down 1 to 2. Beans are down 2, and wheat was about 3 to 4 down this morning. Pretty quiet on the front. We've been busy running back and forth today, so I haven't had a lot of time to look at all the rest of the stuff. So we're happy to be back on TikTok and get back to a normal routine. I'm coming up on once we get some field work done out here. So.
Yep. Well, we're just grateful that you're able to make it in for a short time even today, Dave. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right. Let's see here. Well, let's see. Special K 765 just showed up. George Loftus 247 is here. Good morning, George. Let's see. AJM CSJ is here as well. And thank you all for the gifts. It's really hard. Mary Louise Brown, Ben, LSE3. It's because of this delay, I'm a little off on the gifts, but thank you so much for sending them. It's truly appreciated. What was that?
You're fired.
I don't even know what that said.
You're fired.
Oh, you're fired. Thanks a lot. Let's see. Kathleen Paschke's here over on Facebook. Good morning, Kathleen, and Kelly Osborne on Facebook as well. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Okay, since we don't have a report from James, who is supposed to be in a combiner with Dave, but the big tell you guys is the swimming pool behind you. Yeah, don't tell me it's a green screen. I don't want to hear it. We're on to you. All right, well, let's jump in here. Let's see what we have in terms of stories today. Franny Dragonfly, thank you for the gifts. It's really sweet. Mary Lees Brown. Sheila Living by Faith. Hey, Sheila, haven't seen you in a while. All right, let's see here. First up, we have U.S. housing starts and building permits plunged in August, but mortgage rates have tumbled and applications have soared. I don't think that's the case with the Pacific Palisades people, though, here in California. But, Alex, what do you make of it?
The housing scenario is there's a bubble there. Fed didn't cut enough yesterday. I think we're still going to experience an exorbitant amount of squeeze in all areas until the train leaves the station. I think the engine's fired up. He's screaming all aboard, but we haven't pulled away yet. So buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah, exactly. And I really don't understand the thinking. Why would you do a 25-point cut when at the same time last year he did a 50-point cut when unemployment was lower and jobs were higher? You would think it would be the opposite. They would be increasing it, not decreasing it from last year. Crazy. Well, maybe that's all part of the plan.
Crazy's right. Crazy's right.
Exactly. All right, here. Let's see. Dave, any comment on that, or are you able to comment as we go forward?
Yeah, I'll do my best on that, Sam. I don't know if you can see when I turn my speaker, my mic on and off. So
yeah, we can see.
I didn't see how much did the Federal Reserve drop it yesterday.
0.25 points.
Well,
0.25%.
I'm going to give you an interstate. That's like
Ism?
pissing into the. Yeah, it's like pissing into the wind at that point.
Yeah, exactly. The good old interstateism.
It's a bedwetter.
Right. That's right. It's a bedwetter, and you're pissing into the wind there because it's like that's not even going to touch what's going to, Obviously, they're still after this administration, and the Fed's not dropping it. So we'll see. That's a back burner to see what happens.
Right. Exactly. Skippy over on YouTube said, "Good morning, James and Dave." Paul Rick said they did say looking like 2 more this year, 1 next year. Yeah, I heard that, Paul. I don't know. I mean, I as you all know, I believe that much more is going on behind the scenes than we are privy to. And if that is the case, there is a reason why it was done the way that it was done. And we're still seeing a bump. Alex, I didn't pay attention, or I was too busy looking at screens. Is the Dow and the NASDAQ up or down today?
Everything's up.
Everything's up. Okay. Well,
except for gold, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Interesting. I actually like to see the decoupling of the crypto market and gold. I'd like to see them as 2 different things, but it looks like that's kind of where we're headed. All right, let's see here. All right, next up on the hit list. Oh, this is a good one. Jerry Greenfield, the co-founder of Ben & Jerry's, announced his resignation after nearly 50 years at the ice cream maker, as a rift with parent company Unilever deepened. Now, what was that one saying over on the boards? Watch the CEO resignations. Well, this is a big one. And a co-founder of Ben & Jerry's, and they're a very outspoken liberal group over there from what I understand. Alex, what do you think?
What, Mr. President, you go woke, you go what? I think we're going to see more of it. It's failed ideology. And if I'm stepping over things that you've already mentioned in the Daily Dispatch, I was a little busy this morning. I'll admit I did not prepare. I did not watch the Daily Dispatch. I started the the creation of the intro video before you published it, and you and I were working right up until we hit live. So, but on that thought, you know, there is a turning in this country. 54,000 applications to Turning Point. If that doesn't give you an indication that the people, the youth, the adults, the boomers, the Gen X, the millennials, everybody says enough is enough. And I think we're going to see more CEOs backed into a corner. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Dave, any thoughts on Ben and Jerry's?
Nope.
Nope.
He said
Okay. We're now I've got to interpret hand signs from Dave as well.
He
Ooh,
just said from that day on I was running.
Right. Exactly. And James has his serious hat on over there. I haven't even seen as much of a smile out of James at this point.
He's got to watch that corn.
Exactly. And John Gwynn, I just noticed popped in. John, I did mention you earlier in the live here that you told us to keep our heads on a swivel for James, but unfortunately, James is not going to be speaking today. He's with Dave on the Combiner in Iowa harvesting corn. But I did make it clear of your thoughts about what would happen with him if he was on. All right, let's see here. So, well, you know what? Maybe we'll go right to this part of it because we talked about, or Alex brought up Charlie Kirk. I think what we'll talk about is the FCC chairman threatened yesterday immediate action against Jimmy Kimmel. ABC and Disney for deliberately misleading the public by claiming Charlie Kirk's assassin was a mega conservative. Well, Brendan Carr, the chairman of the FCC, made that comment, that threat, whatever you want to call it, and then the Sinclair Broadcast Group said that Kimmel's suspension, that they were going to suspend Jimmy Kimmel, Nexstar, which is the affiliate of ABC, and they dropped all 32 of their ABC stations until Disney answers for Kimmel's despicable attack on Charlie Kirk. And then you had the Sinclair Broadcast Group said the Kimmel suspension is not enough, and it will air a tribute to Charlie Kirk on Friday across all of its ABC affiliated stations. Now, you have the left, and not all the left, but the outspoken ones, yelling about free speech and yelling about the infringements of our First Amendment rights. Well, here's the thing, in my opinion. When you have a show of that magnitude, even though there's very few viewers at this point, it boils down to sponsors and money. And if you're not getting the views, if you're not getting the viewers on a show like that, they are going to pull you. And that is, I think that's been happening with Kimmel for quite some time. And now with his opening his mouth and inserting his foot in a most despicable way, he got the boot. And I, for one, am glad to see it. Alex, what do you make of it?
Ali Bay posted in TikTok a foot, an arrow, Kimmel's peach. Kick him in the.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Exactly. You're fired is right.
Man, can we get like the worst offender of them all, Colbert, included in there? Stephen Colbert is just. What happened to late night television? What happened to the Johnny Carson?
That's who I was going to bring up, Alex. Johnny Carson was gold.
I mean, seriously, Johnny Carson and you know, David Letterman sometimes touched a little in that gray space, but you know, what happened to like entertainment? Everything is gone to shit. It's all political. It's all bashing this and bashing that. And it bring back Johnny Carson. Carson, if you're watching this, come out of retirement. Or Letterman, we need you. Please.
It would be kind of hard for Carson to come out of retirement because I think he's dead.
I don't think he passed.
Oh, yeah. I think a while ago. I don't know. Let's see. Ask everybody in the chat. Hey, everybody. Is Johnny Carson still among the living? I don't think he is, but
Oh, he lived in. You're right. He passed in 2000.
Yeah.
20 years ago. Nuh-uh.
yeah, it was a while ago.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, he was the
All
best.
right,
Though.
Dave
He was,
Letterman. It's on you, sir.
yeah, Johnny Carson was the gold standard by far. Dave, what do you make of this whole deal with ABC and Kimmel and all that?
Well, are we surprised? It seems like they're cutting the ties and just using that as an excuse. I think that's what we're seeing. I mean, they're demanding these guys take credit for what they're doing. So I'm excited to see. Actually, I used to watch him a little bit, and he got political, and I was done with him.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch him for long.
Yeah, exactly. So. Everybody in the in the chat is correct. Yes, Carson's dead. Okay. Yeah, but he was the gold standard by far. And we'd like to quote President Trump, and what's the old saying? Go woke, go broke. And people in the entertainment industry are not too far gone to see that viewers and viewership equals sponsors. And without the viewership, without the people that are paying the bills, you got to get rid of them. Irrespective.
And now that the piggy bank and Doge has come in and cleaned up the NGOs that were funneling money back over into PBS and other places like that, that money's gone too. So someone's
That's
saying
a very
free
good
speech.
point, Alex.
Somebody's saying free speech. I support their right to say whatever the hell they want to say. I'm just gonna say let capitalism and free markets do what it does, and they will go away. It says in the Bible that the bad fruit will fall on its own.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So many people on the left had their panties in a wad over Pam Bondi's talking about free speech and people that were making threats. It's always been illegal to make threats of violence or harm, period, irrespective of the First Amendment. You cannot go into a movie theater and yell fire. That's against the law. Yet we still have the First Amendment. People have to think with their minds and not with their, ooh, look at that from John. I don't know what that was, but that was kind of cool. Thanks, John. People have to think with their minds and not their emotions. And I know it's hard, especially with all this, what's going on right now. But Dave, what do you think about this whole free speech thing?
Well, it's like you said, it's the sponsors who's coming up with it. It isn't a free speech situation when you have to watch your mouth in the sense of if people don't like it, you got to make. He's not even making 50% of his audience happy. So it is what it is. It's just like anything else on TikTok. You got to watch what you say and watch what you do. It's the same concept, especially when you have sponsors.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's business. It's business 101. What pays the bill?
And he hasn't brought. I know his ratings have been dropping, and he probably should have been gone 2 years ago.
Right, exactly. I don't think if it wasn't USAID paying out all this money to PBS and networks and things of that nature, they would have been gone a long time ago. So now that Doge, as Alex said, exposed it, there is no more gravy train. There is no more money train. And I, for one, am glad to see it. Somebody in the chat, let's see if I can find who it was, said, now we got to get rid of The View. Well, you talk about a red pill. When you watch, I think we lost
That's
Dave.
all right. Yep, they probably lost signal.
Okay. I completely lost my train of thought. What the hell was I saying?
Trump just called.
Everything woke turns to shit. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's what it was. Somebody had said, go to the dictionary and look up the word woke. It's not what you're saying it is. Well, we're talking about it in context of what the nomenclature at this point in time in the social circuit is referring to. We're not necessarily going back and saying what this dictionary says. It's a social consciousness construct that we are expounding on. Hope if that makes sense. So, King's Kissing Bandit and Lipstick is here. She said, "Isn't The View already gone?" I don't think they're gone. Maybe they're on hiatus or something.
It was blasted around the news that this big thing. Oh, The View. But honestly, it was a big nothing burger. They take a break every news station, right? They take a break, and then the new stuff comes out at the end of fall, and that's when all the seasons restart. And so yeah, they'll be airing reruns for a while. It's I think that's just the cycle naturally, not that they've been yet taken down. So
Yeah. Yeah. Skippy over on YouTube said, "How can the guy who watched women jump on trampolines and drink beer turn into such a whiny soy boy?" I'm
Oh,
assuming.
Jimmy Kimmel, like the Man Show. Like, do you remember the Man Show? Ziggy zaggy, oi oi oi, and then they chug the beer, and like the Man Show was great. It
Yeah,
was great.
I never saw it. I was never into those
Oh,
shows.
I'm so
Probably
sorry
because I go to bed so early and I'm up so early.
because you're old.
Yeah, exactly. I am old. Thanks for reminding me, Alex. David Morales said, Morales said, "Which way is Starbucks going? They won't put Charlie Kirk on a cup, but it's drawing positive PR because Charlie has been endorsing the brand." And then Paul Rick said, "I've seen a video where somebody asked for the green tea that Charlie drank, and the person wrote loser with a smiley face for the name." I saw that, Paul. And, again, I don't think what we're seeing in totality is an organic movement. I think there are other things going on here. But the fact that you trample on somebody's grave, somebody that has done nothing but promote America and wholesome values, I mean, my gosh, these people are just not that smart. At least that's the only way I seem to look at it at this point.
Well, again, Sam, I don't know if this is in your dispatch. What Trump posted last night.
What I'm not sure what you're referring to.
He's going to designate Antifa as a
Oh,
domestic terrorist organization.
yeah, no, I didn't put that in yesterday's. Or in today's. I was going to do it for tomorrow, but that's okay. No big deal.
I mean, that's consequences.
100%.
Karma's a bitch, and if you're lucky, she's going to let you watch. And I think we're all going to get to see a whole lot of watching going on here real soon.
100%, I agree, Alex. There is so much happening, everyone, that it's mind blowing. There are so many news points every day, and I filter through them all day, and I just pick the ones that I think are the most important. But if I was gonna put all of the news stories that I think have some merit into the dispatch, it'd be a 20-minute dispatch. I mean, it really would. And I try to make it as concise as possible and to the point so that we can expound upon it on the live. But there is so much happening right now. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Speaking of things happening, RFK Jr. came out with a tweet yesterday, and he said, "Thank you to Tyson Foods for cutting high fructose corn syrup from your branded products by year's end." And then he called on every food company to follow their lead to make America healthy again. And you have some people that are just, hey, nice heart meme. Thank you, Martini Time. You have some people that are they're just not getting it. They are so cognitively dissonant that something just happened over here, Alex. Do you see that?
I'm when you're done with what you're doing, you'll have to share that screen.
Oh, okay. Is that what that was? Okay. Sorry, everybody. So Alex is doing some things in the background, and I'm not used to all of the little pop-ups that are happening. So bear with me as I get the hang of this. But anyway, RFK Jr. talked about high fructose corn syrup being eliminated from Tyson Foods. And then he talked about McDonald's. And he said, well, you know what? Let's start with the Tyson Food ones. Do you want me to pull up that screen now, Alex?
No, that's for our halfway.
Oh, I see. Okay,
point.
I see it now. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
oh boy.
Tyson Foods. Yeah, my mom used to work for Iowa Beef Processors, IBP, which was a beef processing plant. A lot of the plants like that have an exorbitant amount of workers that come here specifically to do those tasks and jobs. So how much does that play into with the immigration things changing the way they are? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So there's been somebody in the TikTok chat, Patrick Ryan, who said RFK is not a doctor. Did you listen to the CDC? I haven't listened. Yeah, I haven't listened to this. Oh, wow, that was cool. I don't know what that was, but that was really cool. Looked like Thor's hammer. No, I have not listened to the CDC in decades. Why? Because I read, because I learn, because I understand how the body works. So if you're going to use the CDC as a defense mechanism, you got a lot of work to do there, Paul. Sorry to say.
Did you hear what RFK said about the CDC when questioned about the numbers and not knowing why the things that have gone on, there is no numbers at the CDC because they weren't tracking things properly. That's the problem. So, Paul, many blessings to you, brother. Bring receipts. Don't regurgitate what you see on the screen. And if you don't think what's happening aligns with what your beliefs are, maybe you should dig a little deeper and find the receipts, because that's where the proof is in the pudding. So
right, and a perfect example of that, Alex, is when RFK Jr. wrote the book The Real Anthony Fauci, which was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, whatever it was, and I bought it the week that it came out, and I read it. He was making accusations against the CDC, against Bill Gates, against Anthony Fauci, against the pharma companies. If what he's saying is not true, why hasn't he been sued?
Exactly. Why hasn't he been sued and lost? Patrick, get your pen out, and I want you to write down a doctor's name. His name is Dr. Jack Kruse, Kruse. He has been screened. Now, if you want credentials, he's the leading brain surgeon in the world. You think the dude doesn't know his stuff? Leading brain surgeon in the world. Okay, that's credentials to me. He's been screaming about Fauci because him and Fauci came up through the medical system about the same time, went to the same schools, and you should dig into Dr. Jack Kruse, Anthony Fauci, and SB40. Just gonna give you some direction to go find some receipts, sir.
Yep, exactly. Skippy said, Paul sounds like he has 4 boosters. Paul said he sure does. Oh, that's funny. We got to be able to laugh at this stuff too, you guys. Come on, that was pretty good, Skippy. I like that. So, and then also with RFK Jr., he came out and he talked about McDonald's, and he said that for committing a record $200 million investment into regenerative agriculture, it's a big win for regenerative grazing practices, habitat restoration. Boy, I've got marbles in my mouth today. Water and wildlife conservation. And as I said in the dispatch today, there's another person who is working very hard at making sure our soil is nutrified and detoxified. And that's Pat Miletich, who has a company called soilsaviors.org. Check it out. His company is rehydrating the soil with vitamins and minerals and removing the toxins and the heavy metals. Certainly worth taking a look at it. Alex, any comment on the McDonald's comment?
I think I've shared this before. My children, my boys are in their 20s now. My daughter, who's almost in her 30s, all went to the same pediatrician. When you walked in the front door, underneath a piece of plexiglass in a box was a Happy Meal. And for, I don't know, 20 plus years, that Happy Meal has been sitting there. And of course, it sparks conversation. Everybody's like, why is there a Happy Meal under that? Da, 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 da. And you talk to the doctor, and here's what he says. If mold and natural decay will not eat the Happy Meal, I'm sure as hell not going to feed it to my kids, because that Happy Meal, the fries, the cheese, the bun, the burger, everything on it looks exactly the way it did the day he bought it and put it inside of that case.
Yep. 100%. Okay, and I see all the comments on TikTok. Sponsors. I know. Thank you guys for reminding me.
I'm ahead of the curve, folks. I've had the sponsor page up now for 10 minutes.
He has. Alex is on top of it. But as I said, man, I'm getting used to all this different technology, so bear with me. So, sponsors, we have MyPillow Mike Lindell. Mike is fighting for the integrity of America. If you need some pillows or some towels or some sheets or a robe or slippers or anything else that he offers, go to Mike and get them from Mike. Use the promo code SAM. It benefits this channel. It benefits Mike and My Pillow, and it benefits America. Secondly, we have Neil Naturopathic. Dr. Neil, who's a personal friend of mine, launched this company several years ago. And his hair care products get rid of dandruff, increase hair growth, and they do it without any chemicals or toxins. So go to neilnaturopathic.com, enter in the discount code SAM20, that's SAM20, and you'll get 20% off of your order. And of course, Dr. Peter Glidden. Dr. Glidden has been in this fight for decades. If you go to my website, samshalhoub.com, you click on the button in the upper right-hand corner, it'll take you to Dr. Glidden's website. He has put together I don't even know how many terabytes of information. If you have a question for you, your kids, your grandkids about anything that has to do with health and wellness, go to Dr. Glidden's website, use the code SAM, and you'll get a 30% discount on his membership. And his new book is out. So go to samshalhoub.com, click the link, use the code SAM, and you get a 10% discount. And Alex, let's talk a little bit about cybersecurity.
Damn it, I wasn't ready.
Sorry.
That's all right. RiskToolTech.com. RiskTool has over 18, almost 20 years now of experience helping organizations manage and track their cybersecurity footprint and compliance. We help you train your staff. We have incident response, vulnerability assessments. We help you pretty much bulletproof your cybersecurity roadmap so that in the event that there is something that happens, you know how to respond. In training your staff, they know how to respond. You can track your training, your policies, your checklists, and your assessments. Annual assessments are imperative to know where the holes are in your game. RiskToolTech.com.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. All right, everybody. So now, oh, you already turned it off. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, hey, Jess the Mess from Text just showed up, and she said, good morning from Alert Bay, British Columbia. Oh, Jess is on the move. I hope you're having a great time, Jess.
I put in all that work to create this magnificent intro and just missed it. Damn it.
Oh, thanks a lot, Jess. No, yeah, exactly. You're going to have to go back and watch the replay and see it because it's awesome.
Maybe we'll just play it as an outro too.
Oh, okay. We could do that for sure.
Why not?
Why not? Well, what the heck? Let's live life on the edge, right? If you're not standing on the edge looking over, then you're taking up too much room is all I can say. All right, let's see here. Next. We touched on this a little bit already, but I'm going to bring it up again. Federal Reserve lowering the interest rates by 0.25%. It's the first cut since last December. We have jobs down. We have unemployment up. And the Fed, in all their wisdom, and I use that in air quotes, is saying that only a 0.25 drop doesn't make sense to me unless there is an alternate plan that we are not privy to. Alex, what do you think?
I'm just going to call a spade a spade. This is the deep state. This is the Federal Reserve doing what it does to continue to try to topple the system so that they can have some sort of, reset, not the reset that we want. The fact is the dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power since 1970s when we came off of the gold standard. This is the third iteration of a Federal Reserve Bank in control of the currency. Our founding fathers said a central bank in control of the currency is worse than any standing army in the world. Like you're watching it. Like they're not doing their job. They're not doing their job. And so maybe this is all KFAB and he's just playing in and they've all, capitulated. That'd be great. But, could we just, I said this morning in a text to a friend. I was like, I get impatient. I am ready for this train to be cruising down the track, and unfortunately it's still sitting at the station. And I understand that it's sitting at the station right now because there are still some more people that need to get on board. So I've got to just be calm and remain patient. But damn it, dude, a quarter of a point, how does that help anybody? It doesn't help anybody. That's not like basic economics. And I'm not in economics, not financial advice. Buy it on the TikTok shop.
Yeah, exactly. Tammy C54 just showed up, and look who showed up. Hits. Oh, nice Trump train, John. Thank you. Hits said, "I'm so happy I made it to the live today." Well, we're happy you made it too, Hits. Glad. Good to see you, Hitesh. All right, so
Thank you, Wild Bill.
just the mess from text said that she didn't have service, and she just got service. That's why she hasn't been on. Oh, a likely excuse, Jess. You guys are out partying it up. We know. We're on to you. We know what's really going on. Exactly. Oh, my gosh. All right. So Jess also said, how does one man have so much power? I don't think that he does, Jess. I think historically they have, but I think a lot of that is changing as we speak.
And
Do you want to say something else?
It's not him that has the power, Jess. It is a board. It is a board of directors for the Federal Reserve Bank. And, you know, the way that they implement is they have, I think, is it 14? Don't quote me on this, but I think 14 board members and only 12 are allowed to vote. And that rotates in and out. So no single person could have the sway, so they say. But fire them all. Get their ass out of here. Let's get going with a real currency that's backed by assets that we are in control of, not a bank that goes, there's more money.
Yeah, exactly.
There's more money.
Exactly. Pure Blood Holly John said, then the reason it's happening with the reserve is then Trump can show cause to get rid of Powell. Yeah, I think optically you're right, Holly. I think that's part of this whole laissez-faire of what's going on. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Tim Shaw 707 said, who is behind the curtain? Well, that's another very good point. I think historically, the people that have been behind the curtain are shareholders of the Federal Reserve that are not American citizens. They've been the ones calling the shots. All of that is changing now. All of that is in flux, and we're seeing it rolled out at a very constant yet limited rate. Because as we've talked about many times, you cannot take a frog and drop them into a pot of boiling water. They're either going to jump out or they're going to die. You have to bring the temperature up slowly, and I think that's exactly what we're living through right now. All right, let's see here. I'm going to have to really redo this whole thing because my screens are so out of whack.
We didn't have enough time this morning. That's all right, buddy.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right, let's see here. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have signed a strategic mutual defense agreement, pledging joint defense cooperation and deterrence. Now, this is another power center that's being formed that isn't including the United States of America. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because I don't think America should be the gatekeepers for the world. I think we should take care of America and take care of America first. This I don't see as a negative. I see it as the rest of the world beginning to stand on their own 2 feet. What do you think, Alex?
100%. I think we're very quickly coming to a realization. There are those of us that have had this realization for a while, and those that are starting to come on board. Our military, our purpose as a country is not to be the police of the world anymore. Our place and our time of doing that, I think, is past. Our military needs to protect our borders, and in the event of something, potentially partner with allies. But this world of us being the police of the rest of the world, that's what's gotten us into the situation that we're in now. So keep our boys at home where they belong, defending our borders, and threats, foreign and domestic. We'll see where the chips fall. But I agree, Sam. Enough is enough.
Yeah, and I think up until 2016, the globalist controlled America, and their whole focus was to have a one world government, a one world, you know, control center. And those levers of power now have been ripped out of their hands, and they're put back into the hands of the appropriate countries. As I've said, we are America first, as we should be. Russia should be Russia first. North Korea should be North Korea first. China should be China first. That is the way it's supposed to work. The globalists who've had control for so long, they're getting what, well, they've gotten, I think, what they had coming to them. And Paul Rick said exactly, let them take care of themselves. Absolutely, 100%. I agree, 100%. All right, let's see. Let's move on here. Venezuela has begun military exercises on the Caribbean island in response to the deployment of U.S. warships to the region, according to their defense minister. Talk about coming to a gunfight with a pea shooter. I mean, come on. What's Venezuela going to do if we decide to take some action? They're not going to do much, I'll tell you that. Alex, what do you think?
Well, again, is this all kayfabe? What's happening with Maduro and you know, we've got a subscriber that is from Brazil and that portion of Central America, and it's just more exposure to what's happening. So I forget how many hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands. I don't remember what it was yesterday. Cash Patel said in the hearing about the number of kilos that they've seized of a particular plant, the coca plant, and how it's refined into kilos. I'm trying to be TikTok appropriate.
Right.
I mean, astronomical amounts, and they can't get it across our borders because they're closed. So now they're coming out of other countries on the water. Like they're desperate. Desperation is setting in that they no longer have a market to push their products. And that's going to hurt business. So, you know, yeah, Venezuela can bang his chest and call us whatever he wants to call us, but if you're continuing to allow these things to happen inside of your four walls and it's affecting us and our four walls, they're out in international waters. You're violating international law. You're trafficking things. You're gonna pay the piper. I guarantee the people that are thinking about getting on a boat this morning have seen those two videos and thinking, meh, I think I'm gonna go hang out with my family today. I give.
Yeah, exactly. John Gwynn said when the masks drop on a plane, you put yours on first. And I think that is really, really wise advice. And it's something that people forget.
100%.
Yeah, you have to take care of yourself first. Does that mean that you don't help others? Of course not. But if you're dead, you're not going to be able to do much to help others. So, John, I 100% agree with you. Thanks for bringing that up.
I have used that exact phrase many a time, John, with coaching clients. It's imperative, because if you don't put your mask on first, you're unalived and you can't help anybody.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Hey, Godly Man just made it. Hey, Godly Man. And PJ Party Peggy's here. She said, blow them up. Jeez. I'm glad that PJ Party isn't the head of the Department of War. Oh, my gosh. Exactly. We got to put PJ Party's picture in front of that music. Oh, that cracks me up. Let's see. D said Cash did great at the hearings. He did. And he just took off the gloves. It was a screaming match at certain points. And there was another interview, or not interview, but in the hearing, he let the one senator just go off, and then Cash just let him have it with both barrels, succinctly, properly, respectfully, but just put him in his place. And I wish we had that clip, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Was it D that said that? Yeah, D. Yeah, you're absolutely right, D. 100% I agree. Hey, Dave, thanks for the corn.
Cash annihilated them. The what is it Lisa says, if they're squealing, they're stealing. They same thing with the CDC people yesterday. Like you it's so black and white. We can see right through what they're doing now. It's apparent to everybody. Everything that I let me back up. The Cash did great. The one part that he didn't call somebody out, and I really wished he would, was when the senator said, I really wish that we could tone down the rhetoric and bring people together. He should have freaking picked up the book and thrown it at her, because they're the ones that have been, through their words, labeling, inciting, and have pushed a narrative to the point now where people who may not be mentally the sharpest knife in the drawer are the ones that are throwing them. And we see what happened last week. So I wished he would have stepped up in that case, but on all other points, when it came to them flat out just attacking him with, you're the worst in the history of the entire, and this and that and this and that, he let him just go on and on and on. He's like, oh really? So why did we arrest 1,600 pedos? Why have we rescued this many children? Why have we gotten this number of FBI's most wanted? He just bam, 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 right down the list, which all told together, added together, is probably more than we saw in the last 4 years. So,
Right.
Kudos, Cash. I keep up the good fight, brother. Keep up the good fight.
Yep. Lisa Maria said, PJ Party is a badass. Isn't that the truth? Don't mess with Peggy at the PJ Party. She'll straighten you out in a heartbeat. Mega Dave said, hey, sorry, my phone died. Oh, okay. Sure it did, Dave. You mean that it was time for massages in Cancun? We're on to you, dude. You might want to change the whole pool background if you want to try and pull off that we're really doing some farming. So on to you, Dave. All right. So the last story is very interesting. As we all know, President Trump was in the United Kingdom, and he gave a speech after and also, if you'll notice, he was walking in front of the so-called king. Very reminiscent of what happened in 2017 with the Queen. Yes, Alex.
So I for the particular ceremony yesterday, which is the inspection of the guard, it is, just to put it in perspective, it is customary for the dignitary to do the inspection and be in front of the king. So
right, and that's exactly what Macron did too.
Right.
Yeah,
so
100%.
so that is not so out of the ordinary. But what is out of the ordinary is when he shakes hands and touches the king, and there's several other instances. The dinner last night. What an incredible time we're living in, Sam.
It truly is, Alex. It truly is. Pure Blood Holly John said, Watermelon Head was a mess. Isn't that the truth? You talk about somebody who's got to be hearing footsteps. That's Adam Schiff, I'm sure. Anyway, so back to this UK thing. So President Trump's at the dinner, and both he and the king gave a speech. But what I found really interesting is that President Trump, during the dinner, he said that he was commenting on the king and the king's ability to remember everybody's name. And he said the king knew every single person. And some of them had bad names like XYZQ3. Now, of all the letters in the alphabet for President Trump to use as an example, he chose Q. What do you make of it, Alex? Exactly. Pretty self-explanatory, right?
The hand gestures when he's dancing, and he'll it ceases to be a theory, folks, when there's evidence to support the. It ceases to be a conspiracy when there's evidence to support the theory. So just putting that out there.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. PJ Party said the UK needs us. Oh, nice bat and ball. Thank you. I don't know who that came from, but thank you for that.
Mary Lee's Brown.
Mary Lee's Brown. Thank you, Mary Lee's. PJ Party said the UK needs us. They're in a mess. Well, I think the entire world is in a mess, and it's all getting straightened out as we speak. Let's see. There's some trolls in the chat. Well, if you want to believe that Q is a troll or Q is a LARP, you go ahead. But if you've done any research into the Q drops, you'll see that there are hundreds of examples of future proving past.
I was not a firm believer for several years. Just so you know, what was her name? Tessie the Terror. And I am one to go really deep when it's a problem faced in front of me. A superpower of ADHD is to hyper focus, and I will dig until my fingernails are bloody because I'm gonna get to the bottom. And I have to tell you, there are way too many things underneath that board that you just can't deny it. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, shits like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Well, it's mathematically impossible to have that many coincidences. It couldn't be done. There has to be some other reason for it. But again, you're welcome to your opinion. That's our opinion, and that's all there is to it.
100%. Thanks.
All right, everybody. So it looks like we didn't hit our 100,000 today, but that's okay because we want to play the intro as the outro today, just so everybody can see it who didn't get to see it earlier. That's all, exactly. So let's do a quick final comment, Alex.
Interesting times that we're living in, folks. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your powder dry. We say that every show. I think that as we continue to have more disclosure, we are probably going to see a considerable amount of unrest. The world is not always a pretty place. It's brought an exorbitant amount of light onto a very dark situation that happened last week. Their mission failed. So just another example of time is the only thing that you cannot make more of and you cannot buy more of. So hug your loved ones, kiss your loved ones, spend time, say the I'm sorries, have the difficult conversations, get outside, get your feet on the ground, breathe some fresh air, turn off the noise, and just be present, and see who speaks to you. We appreciate you guys coming on and spending the hour and the time that you do with us. Sam, brother, appreciate
Great
you.
job on that intro, Alex. Just amazing. I was blown away when I saw it this morning. Terry said, the truth will win and the truth will set us free. Very, very true. Okay, everybody. So we're going to play the intro as the outro just so everybody can see it again. And then we'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time on all platforms. We are TikTok jail free. So we're good to go. So
Sam,
yep.
What's your final thoughts, brother?
Oh, well, see, I am so all over the board right now. There's so much going on. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for putting up with the fact that we were thrown in jail on TikTok and that so many curves have been thrown, not just to us, but I mean, look at all that's going on in the world. I'm just grateful that all of you are here. I'm grateful that we get to spend this time together. I'm grateful for Alex. I'm grateful for Dave. I'm grateful for James. Yes, even for James. But again, remember that the best is yet to come, everybody. So we'll see you all tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to see if I can play this outro just so everybody, or this intro, just so everybody can see it. Hold on one second. Let's see here.